All right, somebody got some new shoes. Went out today, swapped the trailers. So now it's time to get that thing off of that and onto that. All right, so let me add real quick. That's been hanging up there for, gosh, I'd say 3 or 4 days now, and no issues at all. I mean, I would leave that there up, pretty much indefinitely. I did put the engine hoist on there as a second mount. This one I've actually had to come tighten this chain up every day or so. I think it's just because that's so maxed out and it's on the weakest setting. It's a little cheapy Harbor Freight one. But yeah, besides giving that an extra little, half a pump every day, I've had no issues with it. So good to know for the future. If I need to pick up this motor again, I can easily do it. All right, and if you'll excuse my mess of a workbench here, I don't even have anywhere to put this. These are the bolts I'm using. Went ahead and bought some new ones. Not a fan of torquing bolts down once on a motor and then, reusing them. They say the threads will stretch out. I'm not an engineer. I don't know. I just know that for 15 bucks a set, that and my buddies at Marine Trading Post, I got some Mercury OEM bolts. So I'm going to use them. So these are the nice stainless fine thread with the brass lock nuts. Nice bolts. May have to cut them a little once I get them put on. They may be, a half inch too long or whatever, but not going to worry about that until they're on. And if I got to nip them off, I can easily with the grinder. So let's go ahead and get going. All right, tools for the day. Simple. 3/4 inch ratchet, 3/4 inch wrench, 19 millimeters for my friends across the pond. 4 bolts, 4 fender washers, 4 little washers, some brass lock nuts. I'm going with some 4200 to just put between the plate and the motor, just to keep a little separation there. If I ever do have to take it off, I want to be able to take it off. 5200 is way overkill for this. Boat life, caulk, silicone will work as well. I've heard you don't want to use regular plain silicone, but this will work fine. Going with that. I got the Ugga Dugga machine. Not sure if I'm going to need that or not. And it's over on the other bench, but some grease. Put a little grease on these threads. You don't want to gall one of these up. Higher quality bolts like this, you normally won't. But if you've ever galled up a 1/2 inch bolt and had to get in there with a grinder and get it off, yeah, you don't want to do that. So a little dab of grease will save you a little heartache. All right, ready to get going on this. Have the motor moved over into place. Went and adjusted this so that it's pretty much lined up. Just slid the gantry over just a little bit. Makes it a lot easier when you can pivot things around. So did start putting a little sealant on here and then realized, wait, Verado's in all of their infinite wisdom made the mounting plate about that much wider than the jack plates. So no matter which jack plate you get, this one's rated for 300 horsepower. You got to get a bracket, a little shim, an adapter. So thankfully, Bob's Machine Shop sells these. They're right up the road in Tampa. So grabbed a couple of these. They just scoot the motor back another inch or 3/4, 5/8, 2 inch, whatever you need. They sell all different sizes of these. And that'll let you slide the side of the motor mounting plate just past this little back end here so that it will fit. Just literally gets right, it's sandwiched right between everything else. So looks like I can still use the hole I want. I was going to go with the top hole, and that'll just clear the steering cylinder. So looks like they did go ahead and think of that. Slide a bolt in here just to make sure. Yes, and that goes through just fine. All right, so all we got left to do, put a little silicone, sorry, not silicone, a little 4200 on this. just to keep the the metal-to-metal contact off of that motor, help this not pit too much more in the future. Throw some bolts through it and lock it down. So here we go. All right, looks like I'm gonna put it right on the motor part. Don't want to put it on the bracket because it sticks up and over a couple spots. I'll just put it right around these holes here. I know some people are gonna say, no, don't use 4200, it's too permanent. I'm gonna admit, I forgot to get these brackets the other day. So I started smearing some adhesive on here and went to put the motor on, went crap, it ain't gonna fit. Pulled it off, left it for the night, ordered those, got them the next day, and that was cured. It literally peeled right off. So not a big deal. It's not 5200. That stuff's about twice as strong as this. And that will, that'll take some material with it. All this took off was a little bit of loose paint that probably needed to come off anyways because it's just gonna hold water behind it. Of course, you could use some, boat life, silicone. I've used that before. Actually like that stuff pretty well. They didn't have that where I was at, but they did have 4200. And that'll work too. And did it without gloves on. Knock on wood. Okay, so make sure you orient this the right direction before you go sticking crap all on it. Just stick a little bit on this. That's going right up against that plate. Not a lot, just enough to keep any water from getting behind these holes mainly. That's not good. It is windy today. I don't know if it's picking that up at all. You see the fans are spinning by themselves. I've got them all turned off. But there's a little October tropical whatever nonsense out there in the Gulf. It's just kind of, doing its thing. All right, how do we want to do this? I'm going to go ahead and put that bolt there. That through there, and not let it get all over my arm. Spin this into place. See that bolt inside of there? There we go. Barely tapping that. I do not want to force that through. Scratch up threads at all. A little adhesive back here, sealant just to keep water from getting inside of there and corroding anything out. Oh, got 4200 on my finger. All right. I don't even know where my little rag went. There it is. A little bit of grease down these threads. So that doesn't blow off. Go and dry fit the bottom bolt before I lock everything in place. There it goes. cameras. Pull it towards me just a bit. See, that's why I did not want to torque that down. Then I wouldn't be able to pivot the whole thing. So as long as you got it hanging on something secure, you know, get them all in there and get them fit. Just put the nuts on them just to keep them falling off. Same thing down here, a little adhesive. A little dab of grease. Okay. Let's go ahead and move to the other side. All right, rinse and repeat over here. Grab my grease and my sealant. Make sure you have the plate right direction. Also, another reason you don't want to torque these down yet is to be able to get that in there. So, move this real quick. There we go. It's probably a little bit better angle for y'all. Yeah, I did. I got this in too close. I don't feel like unbolting that. Should have put the silicone on there first. So we're just gonna go plan B. Now you don't need a ton in here because this is going to flatten out and spread out pretty well. It's just basically to keep any water from getting between these two plates and sitting on it and corroding it up. All right. That's going that way, so I'll flip it. That'll do, pig. That'll do. That down. Get rid of that before it ends up everywhere. Ooh, another important consideration is you need to lift these plates up to get these bottom bolts in. And when I'm done, I'll show you real quick how to hook that harness up and do that without having the whole thing hooked up. Dabby-doo. I know, don't you love it? My gloves are literally sitting right there. It's not doing anything for me. Whatever. Put one little dab of silicone sealant on there. Put the washer on, then you can spin it around. That's the same thing, really, is rotating the sealant all the way around it. There we go. Tighten them down. I'm gonna cheat just a little bit, just to get these started. Not gonna use them for pressure, but that'll save me a lot of hand cranking. Okay, as for the rest of this, I'll find the torque specs in a minute. And these bottom ones are gonna be more of a pain, but we'll get those. And you can see you get just little bits of the sealant popping out of there. It's good, just keeps that metal on metal. Any kind of little crevice in there, you're just gonna get water trapped in there and it's just gonna sit. Water has nothing better to do than ruin your crap. You ever feel like you're losing your mind, setting tools somewhere and then turn around and they're gone? Anyways. Please fit, please fit. I may need to go a little shorter. Yep, all right. Grades to the rescue. And take two. 11/16, of course. I swear, literally, when I'm done with this, I'm spending like all day tomorrow just cleaning the shop because there is so much crap all over. I got my impact socket on here because I cannot find my standard 3/4 inch 3/8 drive deep well socket anywhere. All right, 3 or 4. So laugh at myself a little bit, but it's Friday afternoon, you know, worked the desk job all day. Friday evening, I guess, about 6 o'clock now. And they're doing this crap. Yeah, it's fit right through there. So there it is, last bolt. Anyways, yeah, that's my story. I'll punch myself in the face with the wrench. I think they're tight. There we go. She's hanging. Go ahead and loosen that up and get it off the hook. Okay, one more little thing. These bottom bolts, that's the tilt arm, the tilt cylinder. And if you turn this all the way, it will bump that. I'm going to have to cut these shorter. I'll hack them off with the grinder. No big deal there. Now that they're in tight, cut them back, you know, an inch or so. Not a problem. Just something to note. Watch your bolt length with these Verados. You pull it this way, it'll bump. And I'm probably spraying hydraulic fluid all over the ground over there. But anyways, yeah, there we go. One more thing, right there. 90 foot-pounds, lift plates and metal setback brackets. Oh, last bolt's tricky. I'm gonna have to put the plate down to get to that one, but I will. All right, last step. Get this chain hoist out of the way. All right, it's out of the way. And yes, for those of you that are wondering, this is an engine hoist plate from the auto parts store. Mercury does sell a mounting plate that goes up on that top piece. It's about $200. That was 20 bucks. The bolts that it uses are M10 1.50. I'll confirm that and put it on the screen. Needs 3 of them. You do have to like drill out one of the holes because it doesn't line up perfect, but this plate is rated for 1,000 pounds. It held that motor up there for a week, no problem. So I'll do it again. And that bolts right in the flywheel here. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, one other thing while I'm up here. This is the other hook that I was using. I use this as a backup. I believe this is for during manufacture for them to move the block around. Mercury does not recommend that you pick the motor up by this. I know a bunch of people have and do and will. And I know that at a couple points, this was supporting the entire weight of the motor while it was on the cherry picker. So do with it what you want. Obviously, you can see the paint missing on it. Somebody else has lifted this motor off using that before me. But I figured I would be extra safe and use both of them. One more quick thing. A 3/4 inch ratchet or socket I was looking for. It's on the end of that. Anyways, yeah, so it's been a long week. It's Friday evening. My brain hurts. But motor's on. And that's what matters. So now, let's put this thing back down and check the measurements on the bottom. This is what Bob sells you with the plate. And this is what it goes into. So if you need to put this plate up or down and you don't have a switch, that is very easy. You do need a battery. You can use a drill battery if you really want to. I've done that. Not recommended. Works. All you need to do is put red on hot, of course. Black on not. Harness that comes out of the plate. We'll plug into this somewhere inside of the bilge. Plug those together. This is the wiring harness that runs up to the dash. This is now hot. This is your constant power now that it's plugged in. And blue to the sky, green to the grass. So if you want this sucker to go up, you would touch the red to the blues. You want it to go down and touch the red to the green. And that's basically all that switch is doing. It's just making these connections. So there it goes. Check for clearance real quick. There's a ratchet extension in there. Good, 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 good. And good over here. All the way down. And then let me go ahead and just unplug this and take it off the battery. just in case it bumps together. I don't need it sparking. All right, let's see how we did measuring this transom out. When I mounted this thing, I wanted the bottom here, see this guy, to be just below the bottom of the transom when it's all the way down. So, yeah, it's about that right on the bottom. It's hard to gauge it exactly. I'll have to slide it up here, but yeah, you're about 1.5 inches, 2 inches below it, which is probably good. This way it'll give you plenty of room to come up while you're running. It's got 6 inches of lift on it. That should be in good shape there. All right, y'all. So with that, I'm gonna call this a win and quit while I'm ahead because, like I said, it's been a long, brain-sucking week, and yeah, I'm just happy to have this thing bolted on. So next up, start just rigging. Not gonna deal with this tonight. Drill some more holes in the transom, figure out where I want this. This is gonna have to be shortened. My last bracket was the quarter bracket. It had about 6-7 more inches of setback than this thing does. So cut a few inches off of this, get it all lined up, get it in place. What else we got? New console is in, tower's fitted, ready to go back on, painting the live well, and plugging everything back in. That table over there, I'm sure you saw during this video, is an absolute mess of crap that needs to go back on the boat, but it's all labeled, it's all wired, it's all ready to go. It just needs to be plugged in. So, you know, if I can find some time, I'll have this thing on the water in the next couple weeks. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see that. Like always, thank you to everyone who stayed this far in the video, new and old. You know I love you all, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk soon.